I have not been on a car that had AC yet. In the last few days, I've traveled back and forth on the one line, the hottest day of the year. 102 degrees outside, and we're sitting on a hot car.
The MTA notes a very small fraction of riders actually get into a car without it working AC every year. Back at South Ferry, I'm still looking for the hottest car. But after 2 days, I've struck out. The MTA won't say whether the car is even in service or back at 240th Street for repairs. I leave the station defeated, sweating, hobbled. But like Captain Ahab looking for his own white whale, I won't rest until I find dreaded car 2449. Ramzi Khalife, WNYC News.
WNYC receives support from Caramore in Katona, New York, presenting Caroline Shaw and So Percussion, featuring Ring Down this Thursday. Shuttle service from the Katona Metro North Station is available. Tickets at caramore.org.
Marketplace Morning Report is next, and then a Morning Edition. Crews in Texas continue their search for victims of flash flooding that has killed more than 80 people.
I see really grave risks with
Dozens more remain missing. We bring you the latest on Morning Edition from NPR and WNYC. Clouds out there, high humidity too. A chance of showers by late morning, then with thunderstorms through the afternoon and heavy rainfall. Partly sunny, mid-80s and a slight wind. Could be some flash flooding too. Then tonight, showers likely, maybe thunderstorms with heavy rainfall once again. Low in the mid-70s, and again, we'll have to watch out for some flooding.
T-minus 3 days until we get trade deals, higher tariffs, or both, or neither.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Bitwarden Password Manager. With crowds gathering for summer festivals and sporting events, Bitwarden is designed to support secure access to accounts across devices anywhere, from grandstands to general admission. Bitwarden.com.
From Marketplace, I'm Sabri Benishore, in for David Brancaccio. The deadline for countries the world over to agree to trade deals with the U.S. is Wednesday. Or maybe not. Sky-high tariffs, announced and delayed in April, could come roaring back on Wednesday. Or maybe not. President Trump and his advisors are issuing mixed messages. Marketplace's Nova Safo sorts it out for us.
90 deals in 90 days was the promise almost 90 days ago when President Trump paused so-called reciprocal tariffs, the initial imposition of which sent stock and bond markets plummeting. Well, the 90 days are up this Wednesday, and the administration has announced 2 limited deals, one with the UK, the other with Vietnam. So now, as that deadline approaches, there are a number of new developments. For one, officials say more deals could come within days. In the meantime, they appear to be buying themselves more time, delaying the imposition of higher tariffs until August 1st. The president said his administration will send out letters to an unspecified number of countries as soon as noon Eastern today, apparently regarding either new tariff rates or new deals. The president also threatened new 10% tariffs on nations aligned with the BRICS group of developing countries, which includes Brazil, Russia, and China. That group over the weekend issued a statement criticizing tariffs without specifically naming the U.S. I'm Nova Safo for Marketplace.
Tomorrow, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York is going to give us an update on how we consumers feel about inflation, specifically what we think is going to happen to prices in the future. Inflation expectations have been rising over the past 6 months. A survey in June from the University of Michigan found that even though actual inflation right now is around 2.4%, we consumers think it'll get up to 5% a year from now. This is something economists track because the thing about inflation is that it can be as much about psychology as it is about prices. What we think inflation's going to do can affect what inflation actually ends up doing. Marketplace's Matt Levin has that.
So if you think the price of a car or washing machine is going to be a lot higher a year from now, the economically rational thing to do would be to buy said car or washing machine right now. And while you're at it, maybe think about asking for a raise. Brian Colton is an economist with Fitch Ratings.
Inflation expectations matter because they affect people's behavior. So they will affect the willingness of workers to carry on working with a given level of wages.
Higher consumer demand plus higher wages could lead businesses to charge higher prices, a self-fulfilling inflationary nightmare for the Fed. Oddly, this year, inflation expectations have been rising while actual inflation readings have been pretty stable. Economist Yuri Gorodnichenko at UC Berkeley says tariffs and even short-lived jumps in oil prices are triggering post-COVID inflation memories.
Everybody was scarred by, recent inflation surge. They think, high inflation can happen. It's a realistic scenario.
Even if we haven't seen tariffs really impact prices all that much, at least not yet, I'm Matt Levin for Marketplace.
All right, let's do the numbers. Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ futures are all down in the 1 to 0.5% range, with the Dow futures down 55 points. The 10-year Treasury yield is at 4.36%.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Schwab. Schwab offers investors choices like full-service wealth management, self-directed investing options, and trading on Thinkorswim. More at schwab.com. And by Viking, exploring the world in comfort. With a fleet of small ships, Viking offers travel experiences for the thinking person. Discover more at Viking.com.
What's the line between a brand following a trend and outright copying a design? That is the question behind a Lululemon lawsuit against Costco. The athleisure brand says the discount warehouse ripped off designs of its popular sweatshirt and pants. Marketplace's Kristen Schwab takes a look at how successful these kinds of design lawsuits generally are.
Dupe culture has taken over social media.
Dupe fragrances that you can wear every day.
This tank is a Skims dupe, but better. This is your sign to save yourself some money and get some dupes.
Call it a dupe, a copycat, or a knockoff. Though the trending term has changed over the years, the idea has been around for a long time, as long as people have been making stuff. Sarah Fackrell is a law professor at Illinois Tech.
This is nothing new. This is one reason why we even have design patents in the first place.
Design patents protect, well, the design of a product, its shape, pattern, and overall appearance. But getting a court to side with a patent owner to say, yes, Lululemon, Costco has copied your design, that is a difficult bar to pass.
So you got to prove that someone's going to look at that jacket and think that it was made or sponsored or approved by Lululemon, just on how it looks.
That's pretty subjective. Plus, once you open this can of worms, the lawsuit possibilities become endless. Is the Ford Bronco a dupe for a Jeep? Is Pepsi a dupe for Coke? What is the difference between inspiration and outright copying? Christopher Durham is president of the Velocity Institute, which does private label consulting.
If you look across all of retail, 95% of all things are duplicates. 5% are innovation.
Durham says this is how trends work, and that competition is good for consumers because it means more selection and lower prices. Private labels have become so popular that consumers, once embarrassed by being seen with off-brand cereal, now seek dupes out. Think Costco's Kirkland, Sephora's Sephora Collection, and Target's Good & Gather.
Trader Joe's has been making, JoJo's for 50 years. That recipe is just different enough that they don't get sued. And honestly, a lot of people think the JoJo's are better than the Oreos.
With the rising popularity of private labels and copycat culture, Jan Benedict Steenkamp, a marketing professor at UNC Chapel Hill, thinks we'll see more brands take legal action.
Every percentage point market share that you lose to a private label, it really bites into your bottom line.
These lawsuits can be beneficial for plaintiffs.
Not because they necessarily will win them all,
but because enough legal action can scare other copycatters away, making everyone more likely to copycat something else. I'm Kristen Schwab for Marketplace.
And in New York, I'm Sabri Benishore with the Marketplace Morning Report. From APM, American Public Media.